Every woman is a universe waiting to be discovered, not through force, not through rushing, but through presence, attention, and depth. You see, most men think a woman's response comes only from the physical. But the truth is, what melts her, what makes her soften and open, are three invisible places every man can touch, not with lust, but with intention. When these three places are reached, a woman does not just respond physically, she surrenders emotionally. And that, my friends, is when the magic begins. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button, because once you get lost in this video, you just might forget. Have you ever stopped to think about how much a woman's hands tell you about her? The way she moves them, the way she carries them, the way she uses them to create, to comfort, to care. Yet most men overlook this simple truth. The hands are one of the most sensitive, most powerful, and most deeply human parts of her body. To touch a woman's hands is not just to brush against skin, it is to make contact with her history, her emotions, and her unspoken feelings. A woman's hands have carried weight you may never see. They have wiped away her tears, held her dreams, and written her story in ways the world does not notice. So when you, as a man, choose to place your fingers on her hands, you are not simply holding a body part. You are reaching into her world, and if you do it with respect, curiosity, and tenderness, you awaken something far more powerful than desire. You awaken trust. Think about it. The first time you hold someone's hand, there is always a spark of curiosity. Will she hold back? Will she squeeze gently? Will she let go too quickly, or will she stay? That tiny exchange tells you more than words could ever say. A woman may not always tell you how she feels, but her hands will. When she relaxes in your touch, when her fingers curl into yours, when she allows your palm to meet hers fully, that is her silent yes. That is her saying, "I feel safe with you, but let us go deeper." Why the hands? Scientifically, they are covered with nerve endings that respond instantly to touch. A soft stroke across the back of her hand can send signals of warmth and affection straight to her brain. But emotionally, the hands are far more than science. They are symbols. They represent work, care, creation, and love. To cherish her hands is to cherish her journey, to admire the details, the lines, the softness, or even the strength of her grip is to say, "I see you, I value you." Most men chase after grand gestures, flowers, gifts, promises shouted to the sky. But the truth is, women often remember the smallest touches, the unexpected moment when you reach across the table to hold her hand. The way you interlock your fingers while walking down the street, the gentle reassurance of squeezing her hand when she feels nervous or afraid, these little things are not little to her. They are proof that you are present, that you are choosing her in that moment. Romance, after all, is not about fireworks. It is about consistency. It is about knowing how to build a rhythm of closeness, even in the ordinary, and the hands are the perfect beginning. They are the first bridge between two people. If you can learn to honor her hands, to be curious about the stories they carry, to treat them like treasures rather than tools, you will touch her heart long before you touch anything else. Now imagine this. Her hands resting quietly, unaware of your intention. You take one gently, not rushing, not demanding, just being there. She looks at you, perhaps surprised, perhaps shy, but then she smiles because she feels something rare, a connection. No loud words, no rehearsed lines, just presence. In that single moment, you create safety, romance, and curiosity all at once. She begins to wonder, what does he see in me? Why does this feel different? Why do I want this touch to last? And that, my friend, is the secret. It is not about overwhelming her, it is about awakening her. When you touch her hands with respect, with care, with genuine attention, you do more than hold her physically. You hold her trust. You remind her that she is more than her looks, more than her body, more than her achievements. She is human, she is valuable, she is seen. And when a woman feels truly seen, there is no limit to the way she will open her world to you. So the next time you think romance lives only in big moments, remember this truth. Sometimes all it takes is your fingers on her hands, soft, steady, intentional, to unlock a connection deeper than passion, deeper than words, because in her hands lies her story, and when you choose to hold them, you choose to become a part of it. There is something about a woman's face that holds the kind of beauty words often fail to capture. It is not only about her features, the curve of her lips, the spark in her eyes, or the softness of her cheeks. It is about the story her face carries, the emotions that rise and fall across it like waves, the unspoken messages hidden in every glance and every smile. Yet too many men rush past this truth, never slowing down long enough to truly see what her face is trying to say. When you place your attention on a woman's face, you are not simply admiring her appearance. You are stepping into her inner world. Every woman has a language she speaks without words, and her face is the dictionary. A subtle tilt of the head, a half smile that lingers for just a second longer than expected, the way her eyes light up when she feels understood, all of these are clues. If you are curious enough, if you take the time to notice, you will realize that her face is where connection begins. Consider the power of eye contact. To look into her eyes without distraction, without rushing, is to tell her that she matters. When your gaze is steady, not heavy or forceful but present and alive, she feels it. She feels that you are with her in that very moment. And that is rare in a world where everyone is busy, where everyone is scrolling, where attention is fragmented. The simple act of truly looking at her, of seeing her without judgment, is an act of romance far more powerful than the most expensive gift. And then there are her lips, not just for kissing, but for expression. The way they move when she speaks, the way they soften when she smiles, the way they quiver when she is holding back tears. To pay attention to her lips is to pay attention to her emotions. It is to hear the words she says and the feelings she does not. A gentle touch, a smile in response, a quiet moment of listening. These are the ways you honor the story her lips are telling. Her cheeks, too, hold their own magic. Have you noticed how they flush when she laughs freely? Or how they carry the glow of warmth when she is genuinely happy? A tender brush of your fingers across her cheek can communicate more affection than 1,000 rehearsed lines, but the key is intention. If you touch her face with impatience, she will retreat. If you touch it with reverence, she will soften. The difference lies not in the action, but in the energy behind it. Romance is not about taking, it is about noticing. When you study her face with genuine curiosity, you begin to discover her. You see the tiredness she hides after a long day. You see the childlike joy that bursts forth when she is surprised. You see the quiet strength in her expression when she faces the world. And in all of this, you show her something priceless, that she does not need to perform to be loved. That being seen as she truly is enough. Imagine a moment where the world fades away, and it is just you and her. No noise, no rush, no demands. You reach out gently, your fingers brushing her cheek, your eyes meeting hers. In that silence, she feels something she cannot explain. She feels safe, she feels cherished. She feels that you are not looking at her as an object, but as a soul, and that creates a kind of intimacy deeper than anything physical. So the next time you are with her, resist the urge to move too quickly. Slow down, look at her face as though you are reading a beautiful book you never want to finish. Let curiosity guide you, let tenderness shape your touch. Because when a woman feels that her face is not just admired, but deeply seen, she will let you into a part of her heart no one else has reached. There is a quiet mystery about a woman's back and neck, a mystery many men fail to appreciate. It is not the most obvious place to focus on, yet it carries one of the deepest sources of intimacy. Her back tells a story of strength, of carrying burdens the world rarely sees. Her neck is delicate, exposed, and vulnerable, reminding you that trust is never given lightly. To touch these places with tenderness is to awaken not just sensation, but a profound sense of closeness and safety. Think for a moment about her neck. It is one of the few places she cannot protect easily, and that makes it sacred. When a woman allows you close enough to touch the side of her neck or rest your hand lightly at the back of it, she is not just letting you near her body, she is letting you near her trust. The neck is filled with sensitivity, but more importantly, it is filled with symbolism. It is a place that says, I am open to you, I allow you into a space most people never reach. To approach it with curiosity instead of haste is what separates romance from recklessness, and then there is her back. Strong, steady, yet often unnoticed, her back has carried the weight of her struggles, the stress of her responsibilities, and the quiet load of expectations that life has placed on her shoulders. When you lay your fingers across her back, you are not just touching skin, you are telling her that she does not need to carry everything alone. A gentle hand on her back can calm her when words fail, reassure her when she feels uncertain, and comfort her in ways she may not even be able to explain. Have you ever walked beside her and placed your hand at the small of her back? That subtle gesture, though simple, communicates volumes. It says, I am here, I see you, I am walking with you, not ahead of you, not behind you, but with you. That little act makes her feel protected, guided, and valued without a single word spoken. And when you hold her gently by the back of her neck, not with force, but with calm strength, she feels something rare. She feels anchored. The truth is, most women crave to be understood beyond the surface. The back and neck are pathways to that understanding. They invite a slower rhythm, a curiosity that is not about conquest, but about connection. A soft brush of your fingers along her shoulders can ease the tension she carries. Resting your hand at the base of her neck can make her feel safe in your presence. These gestures may appear small, but in her heart they echo loudly. They tell her that you are paying attention to what she needs, not just what you want. Romance is built in the details. It is in the way you notice when her shoulders slump with exhaustion, and you respond not with words, but with a supportive touch. It is in the way you lean close, whispering into her ear while your hand steadies the back of her neck, creating a cocoon of trust around her. It is in the way you treat her back not as something to claim, but as something to protect. Imagine her sitting quietly, lost in thought. You come behind her, gently resting your hands on her shoulders, then sliding them down her back slowly, not in demand, but in comfort. She exhales, not because you did something extraordinary, but because in that moment, she feels you with her. She feels that you notice the weight she carries, and you are there to share it. That is intimacy, the kind that goes beyond the physical into the emotional. So many men overlook these places, chasing after what seems more obvious, more direct. But the secret lies in patience. The neck and back are not places you rush to. They are places you discover slowly, with reverence, with curiosity, with gentleness. And when you master that, when she feels your presence in these subtle, sacred places, she begins to trust you with more than her body. She trusts you with her soul. So remember this, the back and neck are not just physical features. They are gateways. To touch them with care is to tell her, I am here to protect, to cherish, to carry this journey with you. And when a woman feels that, she will give you something far greater than desire. She will give you her deepest trust. If this video touched you in any way, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Because trust me, the journey doesn't end here, it only gets deeper.